Hello again, friends. Today's video is all about the constellation Ursa Major, or the Great Bear, and I'm going to tell you all about her and my drawing whilst we watch the drawing take shape. The inspiration for this artwork comes from a second edition of John Flamsteed's Star Atlas, printed 1753. Illustrations by James Thornhill, currently residing in the Museum of Making in Derby. Not only is it a beautiful book, but it contained the most accurate mapping of the night sky of the time. I wanted to create a piece of art that reflected this and was also equal parts beautiful and factual. The presentation of the constellation was obviously a given, showing the stars and how they connect, as well as a depiction of the Great Bear herself. I also wanted to, in some way, represent the book that inspired the image, so you can see the shape of the pages within the composition, but that left me with a wide open space all around the bear. Naturally, I consulted my own star maps and instantly saw that in the vicinity of Ursa Major, it's home to not one, but 5 galaxies, 2 unnamed barred spiral galaxies, and 3 that you may have heard of: Bode's Galaxy, the Cigar Galaxy, and the Pinwheel Galaxy. Of course, this meant that I had to incorporate a spiral galaxy into this image. The 2 unnamed barred spiral galaxies, M108 and M109, in the Messier catalogue, are located each by the bottom 2 stars of the saucepan, part of the constellation, and nearby to M108 we can also find M97, more commonly known as the Owl Nebula, a faint planetary nebula recognisable by the slight hollowed out circles within the main disk that look like an owl's eyes. M81 and 82, or Bode's Galaxy and the Cigar Galaxy respectively, are found above the bear's head, and the Pinwheel Galaxy, or M101, is by the tail. Speaking of the tail, there is another object of note here, a naked eye double star system. Mizar and Alcor, hope I'm saying them correctly, which make up the second to last star in the tail. These stars are not a true binary system, they're not gravitationally linked. However, through a small telescope, another star can be picked out. This star is in fact in a binary system, a true binary system, with the star Mizar, and they orbit each other roughly every 5,000 years. Even without all these interesting objects, Ursa Major is iconic. Most people can, at the very least, pick out the brighter stars that make up the classic saucepan shape: the Plough, the Big Dipper, the Wagon. The constellation is iconic, huge, largest in the northern sky, 3rd largest in the whole sky, and ancient, known to the ancient Greeks, the Romans, was mentioned in the Bible, and some form of the constellation can be found in many other cultures too, with the Hindus knowing the 7 stars of the Plough as the 7 sages. The Romans saw a wagon pulled by oxen, and in some Native American stories it's still a large bear being chased by hunters. But let's stick with the Greeks for now. For anyone who doesn't know the story, I've heard lots of slightly different versions of it, but this is the gist. A beautiful maiden or nymph called Callisto was walking through the forest when Zeus saw her and instantly fell in love, as you do. The two had a son, Arcas. Zeus's wife Hera was furious at Zeus's betrayal. She turned Callisto into a bear. Living alone as a bear in the forest for many years, Callisto one day saw her son walking in the forest. Forgetting in her moment of joy that she was a bear, she rushed to greet him. Arcas, seeing a great bear run towards him, was naturally afraid, and thinking he was being attacked, drew his spear. Seeing what was about to happen, Zeus intervenes to prevent a tragedy, turning Arcas into a bear also, and throwing them both by the tail, stretching them with the force of the throw, into the heavens to save them. And that is why the bears Ursa Major and Minor have long tails. If you ask me, I think there may have been other ways to prevent this tragedy, but maybe Zeus isn't the brightest. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if you've heard a different version of the tale, or if your culture has a different story to tell. I'd be fascinated to hear from you. I'd also be thrilled to hear any other nuggets of information about this wonderful constellation. So again, if you have anything to add, please put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I hope my little spiel on Ursa Major was interesting, and if you enjoyed watching me draw. That's all for this video, but don't forget you can follow me on Instagram for more art content if you don't already, and my work is available to buy, UK only at the moment, sorry, either direct, email in the description, or via UK artists online. Thanks so much for joining me today, and remember to stay curious and creative, and I'll see you next time. Bye.